asama edapunoditi was say unforgiveness will cost your relationship and marriage.
Yeah, please.
Therefore, manenko etio.
Pacho mechia na mechia yetie for yahwefo adofo ye nyina yebusua de. The greatest pain of life is regression. The greatest pain of life is regression. Say you've made many mistakes. Out of the many mistakes, there are ones you have regretted. Am I making sense?
Okay.
Listen, you've made many mistakes. I have made many mistakes.
Yeah.
We have made countless of mistakes.
Sure.
But there are some mistakes being the mistakes that you have regretted making it.
Okay.
You wish in your life you never ever did that mistake. Okay. Why? Because those particular mistakes has cost you. But the other ones, it didn't cost you. You just decided to learn lessons from it. But there are other ones that has cost you so much that you have even vowed, you have actually said to yourself or said to yourself that these mistakes I am not going to repeat. Sure. Because if he said, no, say the cost here what they are, and I don't think say me. So when we are talking about unforgiveness will cost your relationships and marriages, then we are trying to tell you that unforgiveness is not something to play with, because it will cost you. At the end of the day, you will regret it. Now, there is something about unforgiveness, and I wrote it. I said, unforgiveness, does it work slowly?
Okay.
Unforgiveness, does it work slowly? One say we sit down, now a dynasty, foundation is stronger. We can still build a wall on the foundation. And the wall will be standing. But just a matter of time will betray the strength of the foundation. That is unforgiveness.
Okay.
The more you keep bitterness and pain in you and pretend to forgive, but you have not forgiven, it is causing you, but we will not say it. It is causing you, but you will not say it. In fact, it is not just causing you, it will cost you as well. Now, but just a matter of time, you realize that the pain and the bitterness and the unforgiveness you kept in you has broken you. It has rather cost you. And it's how the see dying. Now will be a trouble CFA because it's so toy.
Yeah.
And so talk now book. What's I starting? Said that way once upon a time it was so beautiful. But it's so now body whatever you don't forgive and you keep pain in you because of your unforgiveness habit and attitude, it costs you than the one who has offended you. Our dear be a good and the sister be said, we are coming to me bokakra. Unforgiveness. Unforgiveness will let you make a decision that satisfies you temporarily and not permanently. So unforgiveness tells your emotions, do this now. That will be the best to make you feel good. You do it and then you regret, because this is a temporary decision and not a permanent decision. So what unforgiveness does is that it triggers your emotion through bitterness and then tell you or predict or it gives you order. You say, you say now on top. So fiancé na hate fiancé na hate uku no hate oyere na hate. But because you have not been able to forgive, unforgiveness speaks to your emotions and tell you, don't you think if you do this it will be better? And then suddenly you make a decision and then said, okay, say never there, and I want to divorce, I want separation, and yes, sadly, I don't think I can stay in a relationship again. What was it didn't work, and then you felt like I should have taken my time. Because I say every mistake can be a mistake, but there are some mistakes we have regretted it. Because you see, I don't know, cost you too much lesson. Lesson out of that mistake, you can't reverse or bring it back. And so when it comes to unforgiveness, unforgiveness is an attitude that kills. Okay. Unforgiveness is an attitude that kills. It tells you that allow your ego and pride to suggest to you without humility.
Okay.
So me fanche no. I think I say me fanche we say be free so the minimum form. Pride is coming to talk. Be free so mume. So bumia kwa nyesa. Sabi monima. And yes sabi ya kwasia and minim nyansa sabi. So unforgiveness start, suggesting. That is what I've been looking for. It suggests a lot of. So one time, a lot of thought. Now, if you are not able to control your emotions to relax, take your time within a day, 24 hours, 48 hours, 2 days, 3 days, a week. Most unforgiveness will predict and tell you that this is the right decision. You only took that decision, and today you realize that no, it was not the best decision. So unforgiveness is not something that people should entertain and allow themselves to enjoy, because it creates bitterness and it doesn't make you better. So I said, one of the things unforgiveness does to couples. Okay. When I talk about couples, I'm talking about those in a relationship and also those in marriage. One of the things unforgiveness does to couples is that it kills their intimacy and their affection towards each other.
Most definitely.
Eti ya wade yache ya kono ayenya ayede kompaso, it kills it. Ejubas wabana tenka wawoma bema no eko. Now usonimu she doesn't get wet. She doesn't even enjoy you holding her anymore. As a matter of fact, it's not just about holding her. She doesn't even enjoy your affection anymore. When I talk about affection, I'm talking about how you treat, how you make the environment becomes, adorable. What we say, it's not just about going to bed to have sex, but environment, because unforgiveness is poisonous. It kills good atmosphere and environment. It does not make you to express yourself the way you want to. Why? Because something bad, poisonous is in the body and in the heart. 81. Intimacy and affection is affected. 80. Say no. First, I come for you about honey welcome. Honey welcome is dead. Why? Because of unforgiveness. First, I come for you about your embrace and your kissing. They say it's gone because somebody is offended. Somebody cannot forgive. Bitterness and pain. And trust me on this. Whenever unforgiveness is available, even to create an environment for our children to have that healthy mentality, it's not there. Because you see, quiet. Number one, unforgiveness kills happiness in the marriage. And that is why I'm talking about intimacy and affection. And why? Because once they are bitter in their soul, nothing gingers, revive, and pushes them to do the things they used to do. We forgive not because we cannot hold on. We forgive because I want to be a better version of myself. But I am going to forgive you, not for your benefit, for my benefit, so that my joy will not be killed. So that I don't lose myself. So for me to have a better version, can I say this? A lot of couples have lost themselves. They are now who they were not because of bitterness and pain. You know, sometimes you can enter into a relationship with somebody and you see them to be something you think you don't understand. When you have to sit with them to ask them, you realize that their past is still chasing, pursuing, and hunting them. Why? Because they are not totally healed. It's because of their past. Now, but when you are able to forgive and you let go, you still hold on to yourself. The self you that you were. Now when you're basabasa. You are not just jealous. You are not over possessive. Because now you've been able to revive and you've been able to come back to yourself. But once you say that I'm not forgiving, what is going to happen is that you're going to lose your identity. Now, so I come back to the answer and say that, now I say you are making a fool out of me. Just because I'm forgiving you or I'm quiet over the issue. No, it is never true. The greatest way to win the heart of somebody who keeps offending you is to forgive them. The more you forgive people, the less they see themselves that they should change to be better people. And let me say this. The greatest person of all time in life is somebody who has the heart to forgive, not somebody who has the heart to hold on to grudges. If you have the heart to forgive, nobody can hurt you. Nobody can keep your destiny. Nobody can cover you. The reason is that the more you forgive, the more brosome, the more better you become of yourself than whoever is offending you. And in fact, the more you forgive, the more heaven backs you. Do you know why? Because you now have the nature of Christ. You now have the nature of God. Because he's the Father who sits in heaven. The eye of the Lord sees everything around, good and bad. Yet when it is raining, he allowed the rain to fall on the good and the evil. And so don't allow yourself to think that you are a fool when you are wiser. To think that by the channel will be free, it's not true. Every married woman should understand this. The greatest way to win the heart of man, or the heart of your man, or the heart of your partner, is for you to keep forgiving him. It's so difficult. You need God's grace. But the more you forgive them, the better they change. The more you complain, you talk, you nag, the rude they become. Especially when you meet an egoistic man. So, the channel at the point, they feel like, no. Like I keep saying, the channel. Now at the point, if you want to make a decision to work out, it's your decision. But once you are staying and you are not working out, the channel, you win the heart of the man daily. And remember, habit is what you do daily. Kakra. So one day he comes back and say, "Bejai girls in Nina, bejai trucha because I think you don't deserve it." Am I blessing somebody?
Yes.
So that is it. So forgiveness affects intimacy and affection. The next thing unforgiveness does to our relationship and marriage is that when you don't forgive, unforgiveness creates huge burden, on your head and on your heart. Unforgiveness creates huge burden on your head and on your heart. Is it not wonderful that anytime you decide not to forgive, suddenly from nowhere, sometimes when you are left alone, tears start flowing from your eyes? Because anytime you remember what is being kept there, you feel like you are better than that. So why would she or he treat me like that? Tears. And listen, when you don't allow your soul to rejoice, you make it get sick. And I repeat, when you don't allow your spirit or your soul to enjoy life, you make your soul or your body get sick. And I'm telling you, unforgiveness is so poisonous that it creates headaches, stress, anxiety, migraine. You look at all this. Look at all the several people who come. Because of you. Hey, no. That's what I'm saying. When you forgive, you set yourself apart and free, and you become a better version of yourself than whoever is offending you. And so when you keeping all this pain, especially your past relationship, guy needed to see your past marriage, divorce by whether it's your fault or not your fault. When you keep, hammering it, when you keep going back to it, to keep thinking about me investing or guy no boom kwasia we di misika no boom kwasia nya metua ne ka na kan yesi na kam 1 billion bi ho na me kota asase no bi adi sika no bibie company no ma sell company because bi pa me man discuss so si da ma kwa na discuss nyina na misinya me obetua. When you keep thinking about all this, you are killing yourself. Once you have life, remember that God is the giver and not the taker. The devil takes, God gives. That is why he comes with an abundant life. But the devil, a taker, comes to steal, to kill and destroy. Yes, so word, and it's true.
It's true.
And so, taking that huge burden from your head and your heart, let forgiveness take place.
Okay.
The next thing that happens to you if you are not able to forgive is that unforgiveness prevents you from speaking your heart. Unforgiveness. One of the things you should avoid is unforgiveness. Regardless of the pain and what people do to you, forgive them. Now we are tarnishing your image. Yes, your image is tarnishing my brother. What do you want to? Just if you didn't try, do you know how many years? There is nothing new under the sun.
True.
Everything happening to you has happened to somebody before, and yet they are able to move on. What's your problem? So when a married woman calls us and tells us 10 years in Nikwaya or Kaya still national, because you are still in the marriage, you are not out of it, and you are still keeping this pain in you. Oh, you are killing yourself. Anyway, unforgiveness cannot allow you to express how you feel now. Number one, bodily, outwardly. When you are hurt and you are bitter, you cannot enjoy the atmosphere in your home. But first, in this year, you can express Kujarina, Namoneke, now, Konaoba, or no, you didn't Kunamo Bonkomo, Nediana Diacoso, now do nine Crabia, Toneso, Namo Bonkomo. Like, see the atmosphere. Yeah. You're expressing yourself. Once you decide not to forgive, the door is shut and closed. Bema to me, Refi, na sadi na Obano, Nimbo Frani Diagoro. I'm at the Boka man, Pepe, or so, Sister in him, or she.
When Bemana Obano.
So Srufi or no Colandi, hey, stop! No, stop that, that you come and beat you. Fine, Colani Aji. And I go. What on said that, Naba? I see.
No crap, papa.
Who are be a puno? Nabia Bemano, so as a shame fan.
Yeah.
Good evening. Your unforgiveness.
Maybe or person or who say so one just one was such a you.
We see good evening, but I want and I want it. Majisu, Majisu.
Yeah.
As an Umuadion, so now Ubadi and Kakuchiti. Young say, atmosphere name. To grab an engine, to was a Obano did so called by force. Now, Jina Fonso, sir, and I don't know. Upa just me, Upa just me, Osta. What would that from Capos dear? No one done here. Busso, after what for Madakakra, or down when it's one working in Insa. Busupa Jatina and I say, Yasipa, or crave,
yeah,
or cram.
It's true.
When he jira. But this guy doesn't really care. He doesn't care not because he doesn't know he has offended you. She doesn't care not because she doesn't know she has offended you. But the truth is that once they said, I'm sorry, they think that they are forgiving. Say they walk with liberty. But you are in prison.
Some people will not apologize.
This one we are talking about an egoistic and a proudful person.
Oh, apologize. So good,
I like this. So imagine you are dealing with a person like this and you decide that once so you are dead. When people say I won't forgive, you can't enjoy the atmosphere in your house. You can't express yourself. Everything affects you. Even when you are dressing, going out, people see something is wrong. Oh, driver, you are not in a good frame of mind. Into all that driver, because they are so hurt, they are so offended, they are so bitter, they are so angry. Now the sad thing is that unforgiveness drowns your face. It changes how you feel. Somebody can look at you and say, you look sad. You are not happy. Something is wrong. Unforgiveness, it can give you another picture.
My goodness.
Anyway, to the extent that unforgiveness can destroy your beauty and your handsomeness. It can even affect your productivity. Even a human crowd do because that bitterness is in you, you know. But up to now, I look and say, your job will be 7 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago. Up to now, to me, you're open to other men.
True.
Productivity. Nothing is happening. Why stuck? How do you have to remember? Many are going to be 7 years. Because you will be media made to love again. Ha! Why do you imprison yourself when the people that has offended you, they walk with liberty? So unforgiveness is a killer that must not be entertained. Remember that we are role models of grace to our children. So therefore, when we forgive, it's a spirit we create in the house, an example that we set in the house to tell them that when people offend you, learn how to forgive.
Hey. Na say papa ebi go school.
Okay, Martin. The greatest part of influence is from our homes, not from school. Remember that how you train a child, according to scriptures, is how they grow.
Okay.
Papa, daddy, mommy, loving themselves. They are always happy. They are always glad. They be over fear. Daddy. Who said that one function? Or daddy say, hey. They grow. See, for your children to have that happy home, they look at the two of us because we are their role models. It's when we are talking about gracefulness. Gracefulness. Not just say grace or your fullness.
Okay.
Naturally say, when Kolani Vision say, they don't see mom and dad fight. They see the atmosphere charged with happiness. So when they go out there to the other world, they see that this is how the world should be.
Okay.
My building I come into who offending that when him say no, this is not the kind of world I'm coming from. I'm coming from a society and a world that is so graceful, so beautiful. We laugh, we overlook mistakes. No, that is the environment. Oh yeah, they are not their child. Only my culture. Daddy ni mami or musumai and be number one. But that papa muna 1 month no nkola nkasa nkola no kura suru na lie away. Tinkola no sukwa bontia when we say another world, that is how you must behave. We are not helping even our children. Anyway, if you don't know to them, I'm telling you, unforgiveness can also be a spirit.
It can be a spirit.
Yeah. For burning check that just will to come over my dead body.
Papa. Yeah. Idiomatic expression.
Thank you. Okay. Unforgiveness can also be a spirit. It comes with the spirit of wickedness.
True.
Why they were promojeba? Sorry. Kabu. The conscience, your friend of dead conscience. And above all, the reason why we cannot forgive is because of superiority.
Me better than this.
I am better than you. I am the man. You are the lady. I am the head.
Card.
I am the head.
Gender card.
I am the head. You are the tail. Who are you? I'm the one feeding the house. What do you contribute at all to the family?
Card.
Listen, I'm superior. The Bible says that the woman got to submit. Now, when you're not Oba de say wo so nyam na bidi miska wade wa we kwa engagement na wiska people na bi hwe blepunim what say ti exchange of words sa na aye ho unforgiveness.
Oh my goodness.
So superiority does not allow us to forgive. When somebody look at themselves and they think they are far better than the other party, they are far better than the other partner, they are far better than whoever they are engaged with, it doesn't help us. So for me, today, this is the little I want to share about unforgiveness. We shall continue another time.
Most
Thank
definitely.
you.
Thank you so much, Councillor D.Y. Donkoh.